Weldon Schools. Good to see you, Dr. Tresnak. How are you?
Good morning to you. Thanks for having me.
Sure feels like I think we're finally into spring. Can we say that yet?
Well, I remember a year in April where we had a snowstorm, so I don't want to bring that up. We still have the shovels out at the school, and we still haven't drained the gas out of the snowblower. But
just in case. Sure. Better safe than sorry. I feel that. Very good. Well, hey, I'll tell you what. Speaking of spring, it's kind of getting to the point where you're starting to think about being outside a little more. The days that allow it. I'm sure the kids are outside doing things, and one of the topics that we hit on in one of our recent visits is perhaps some outdoor learning areas you're trying to create, and exploration of that continues. What's going on? Actually, remind us what this is all about first.
One of our teachers, Janelle Harper, who's a science teacher in the middle school, has been aggressively pursuing various grants out there, talking to various organizations, and we're trying to establish an outdoor learning ed area, but also just looking for those of you who drive on Route 10 and drive by DeLand-Weldon, you notice we have a lot of green space. We have a lot that we would like to work with, and not just have grass growing there, but have other things growing, and try to give opportunities for kids to get outside and experience different educational things. So one of the things, we're going to be building a pavilion that's been donated by the Farm Bureau. We're working both with Piatt County and DeWitt County to get that taken care of. But we're also looking at, again, all the green space. So for instance, yesterday we had a donation of trees. And so our kids were out there with shovels digging holes, and we were planting trees on the back area of the lot.
Wow.
Yeah. Hopefully in the long term, as those trees grow in, they'll help be a little bit of a windbreak, because getting out there are really not that many trees, and that helps. And when the wind really starts blowing, there's nothing to stop it. So we're going to be doing that. We had some representatives from the Piatt County Forest Preserves stop by yesterday, and we talked through. They stopped by on Tuesday, and we were talking about some different options there, planting some prairie grass in areas, and also pollinator areas to kind of grow those type areas. Again, have the kids involved with this, have them see how these areas grow and how it actually helps our wildlife, how it helps our bees and everything like that. Today, I believe a representative from Pheasants Forever is coming out, and we're going to look at some of our space, and can we build an area that's for pheasants that pheasants might come into. For those of you who have been on the North Fork of the Clinton Lake, there is a Pheasants Forever plot over there. And I know the last time I drove by there, you could see the pheasants in there. I mean, it was great to see, because this area, we haven't seen pheasants as much.
Right.
And so we can bring some of those things into play on our space, on our property. That's just another opportunity for kids to learn. And how much space are you? We want to be outside.
Sure. How much space are you working with this?
Oh, boy, I don't remember our numbers, but we have some acreage there.
Really?
So, we have a fair amount of acreage that we just mow all the time. So we can
do something with it would be great.
Yeah. I mean, and some of it is our leach fields for our sewer system. So it's the perfect areas to be planting some of this stuff, just to kind of cover that up, and then it would get the nutrients from the leach field. Sure.
Well, and to that end, I mean, you've also got the opportunity to maybe do like some butterfly habitats and things of that nature. I mean, we know the monarch butterfly crisis and those sorts of things. So that would be a really great learning opportunity for kids as well. A lot of collaboration going into this, it sounds like.
I mean, again, I can't say enough for the work of Mrs. Harper in this. She won't say no. And she hears of an opportunity, and she's applying for that grant. She's picking up the phone. She's talking to people. And what we are finding is that there's a lot of organizations that are very interested in being part of the educational program. But when we start saying this is outdoor ed, this is getting kids hands dirty, being out there, they really are excited about that and want to be part of that type of a project.
Sure. Very nice. So what's the timeline on this? And what would, like, installation of some of these things look like? Would it involve the kids, or would these groups have to come in and do it themselves, and then it kind of becomes a learning environment for the kids? What does that all look like?
It's a mix of all of that. To start with, at the end of this month, we will be putting in the pavilion. That will all be done by contractors, so our kids obviously won't be doing that.
And what's that going to look like?
It'll be just a straight pavilion. It's not going to be enclosed, but it'll be a covered area. We'll have a concrete pad underneath. We're going to put some lighting in it.
Okay.
And we'll also have a sidewalk to get to it. So we'll have that area built out. Where the Clinton High School Industrial Technology Department is building a shed for us that the Witt County Farm Bureau is helping pay for, and that's going to get delivered probably by the end of the school year. And we have a space for that, and that shed will have like all of the shovels and things like that we need, so that kids can go out and work on these spaces. And then we'll start planting these plots. The issue is, as you start learning about these things, you find out that prairie grass takes its sweet time in coming in. So like we planted some stuff 2 years ago that hasn't come in yet.
Really?
And what I'm learning is some of those seeds go dormant. And if you think about the drought we had last year, so some of them just kind of go dormant. So we might not see anything for a couple of years. So we're going to have to be patient. Some things will come in fast. Like we're going to probably put in area of sunflowers. Those will come in pretty fast.
Yeah.
But that also will attract a lot of your pollinators. It also is going to, and we're just going to leave them up. We're going to let them die out, and that will bring in a lot of the birds. They'll just be coming in to get those sunflowers, which is what we want.
Right.
So
what about have you thought about like what kind of draw this would be for like nuisance animals and things, or are these even things that would draw those things?
We don't know.
Okay.
That's and you're right. I mean, let's say we start having a lot of pheasants. That's going to attract the interest of some other animals that are going to want a pheasant dinner.
Right.
So, I think we'll have to keep an eye on that. But on the same token, we're out there out in the open anyhow. Those animals are around.
Yeah, sure. That's true. That's
true. Come in and out.
Fair enough.
Is it going to cause us an issue? I would say not, because typically those type of animals, when they see humans, they stay away.
I just meant like from a destructive standpoint, taking down one of your pollinator gardens or your habitats or something like that. That was my worry. So
I would hope that they're big enough and are hardy enough that they'll be able to handle that. Could we get like an invasive insect species that comes in and tears it up? Yes, I mean, like there are different of those out
there.
And
everything's vulnerable to that.
But also, I think what we're putting in is a more hardier type plant.
You introduced an FFA chapter this year. The first year of your FFA is back. How does this help maybe that program?
I see it integrating completely with that program. One thing you look at, landscaping and some of those ideas is something that's out there that kids get into. Well, that can be part of FFA, and we can start teaching the kids a little bit about that. I have a long-term plan. I think I've brought it up here before. I want to get a greenhouse put in there.
Oh yeah, sure.
Right there by that building, which would be where we would start some of these plantings, and then the kids could see us take it from the greenhouse and put it out in these plots as 100%. We're trying to build those plots. But the connection there to FFA is great. I mean, we start talking botany and how to grow these plants. Sustainable gardening is something that we've talked about, and getting all those pieces and parts together. So I see all this fitting together. What's exciting about this is that we're looking at this K-12. So we're going to involve kindergarten, even our pre-K program. All of them can be involved in what we're doing in some aspect of it. And I think that's exciting. And again, getting kids out of the classroom, getting them outside, especially this time of year when they start seeing that's warming up. It's going to be 70 today. These are the type of days. Hey, let's get outside and let's do something that is really educationally strong.
Yep. A lot of overlap in what you can do with the various classes and the curriculum and all those things.
So yeah, this is exciting time for us. And as we're finding our way in in this stuff.
To that, working with the farm bureaus in DeWitt and Piatt counties, and the grants and everything. How much in grant funding are you bringing in? What does all that look like? The funding side of this.
I'm not sure on the total numbers, but I do know the pavilion itself is $20,000.
Okay.
That was donated.
Yeah.
A lot of it we don't have a dollar sign on. It's more donation of products. So sure. Like the plots, we have companies that are just donating the seats.
Mm-hmm.
Say, here we'll or coming out and we'll doing the seating for us. So
mm-hmm.
It's not like they're giving us money; they're giving us material and service,
mm-hmm.
which is sometimes hard to quantify financially, but it is, as just as important than everything else that we're getting too.
Mm-hmm.
So
right, sure,
it's exciting to see that.
It is very nice. So would you hope that this is ready for, like, some of this is ready for the next school year?
Yes.
Or yeah,
the pavilion will be built up and ready, so we'll be using that in the fall.
Okay, all right, very good.
And then some of the seating, I would hope that we could maybe get some things planted even yet this spring that the kids then would be able to see in the fall.
Okay.
What's not going to come in fast, we know, is the prairie grass type stuff. Sure. It just takes time to get that established and going.
Gotcha. Well, it's exciting stuff. It's exciting to dream on it for sure. And on that note, Dr. Tresnak, let's take a time out. Come back with some more. Dr. Michael Tresnak, Superintendent of DeLand-Weldon Schools, my guest in studio this morning. More to come with Dr. Tresnak on the WHOW Morning Show.
WHOW. Let's check the opening numbers now at the Chicago Board of Trade on this Thursday. I'm Jim Saylor on the RFD Radio Network. Corn, beans, and Chicago wheat all starting the day in the green. May corn opening 449.5 up 2 1/4. July corn up 460, and December new crop 477.5 up 1 1/2. May beans 1167 3/4 up 6. July beans up 5 3/4, 1183 3/4, and new crop November 1158 1/4 up 6 1/4. May Chicago wheat 586 3/4 up 6 1/2, and May KC wheat open 603 1/2 up 8 1/4. May bean meal 316.10 up $2, and May bean oil 68.03 up 61 cents. Energy market June Brent crude oil up 327.9802. I'm Jim Taylor, and this is the RFD Radio Network.
Spring is in the air, so it's time to choose your new Silverado. This is Scott Baum from Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton and Farmer City. We have a good selection of new Silverados with springtime savings and special finance rates. Choose from regular cabs, double cabs, or crew cabs in gas or diesel. We're also allowing extra money for your trade on all new Silverados this month. Silverado, together let's drive. See all our inventory at BaumChevyBuick.com, right from the start.
Here's Matt Hart, owner of the Hart Media Group in Clinton, talking about continuing to serve the community through new ownership.
Things came together, and we reached an agreement to purchase. And as you mentioned, we closed August the 1st. So as August the 1st, Miller Media Group is now Hart Media Group. Mm-hmm. And we're continuing to serve the people of Clinton and DeWitt County and Monticello and Bloomington and Decatur and everywhere, because we'll just keep connecting people as we've been doing.
The Hart Media Group looks forward to continuing to serve the community for years to come.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Once again, a good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Again, Dr. Michael Tresnak, Superintendent of DeLand-Weldon Schools, is my guest in studio for this morning. And Dr. Tresnak, we were kind of chatting before we got started this morning. Believe it or not, we're coming up on the last 5-6 weeks of the school year. It is hard to believe it is almost done. Holy cow.
It's getting there. I mean, we had our break last week, and then came back and we started looking at it. And, we had a board meeting last night, and the one principal goes, "Oh, by the way, we have 31 days left." 31 days.
But who's counting?
Yeah, no one's counting. But I mean, you start thinking about that, and it's almost scary that how fast it's going. So I mean, for us, we're done before Memorial Day. And I'm looking at your calendar over there. I think we're looking at, I believe we have graduation set on May 15th. I have to double check. But, so we're looking at that.
Wow.
And, we would be done with our kids on the 21st right now.
Wow.
And so, that's going to be here before we know it. So now we're in that season of proms and from an elementary standpoint, they're doing a lot of field trips, doing that kind of exciting things.
Your kids go anywhere special every year or do anything special every year?
It's up to every teacher working with the principal what they do. I do know that we have I think it's our 4th and 5th grade. The regional office in Decatur has been working on a program, and they have Jason Latimer, I think is his name, from California. He's coming in and he does this science STEM presentation. They're going to have that at the Civic Center in Decatur.
Oh, cool.
And so some of our kids are going to be going to that. That's coming up.
Nice. Fun.
So we're excited about that, but there's always different opportunities that our kids do as we get towards the end of the year. But like I said, it just, all of a sudden you look at the calendar and it's like, where did it
go?
And,
I know it. Yeah.
And it's like, well, hey, I need to get some things. I knew as an old math teacher, it's like, okay, here we are. I got to get oh boy, I don't know if this is happening.
I know, right? Well, and it's always funny to me, some of your peers start to talk about end of year stuff in March. And I'm like, all right, well, let's because you look and you still got 2 months in March and it's like, all right, well, let's just get into April. And then you get into April and all of a sudden you're 2 weeks in, here we are. And it's like, oh, wow, we got a month left. So, it comes up really, really fast. When is prom for DeLand-Weldon schools?
I'd have to go look it up on the calendar. There's so many dates that I can't keep up. But it's, and this is also the time of year when we start sitting down and looking at, okay, what do we want to get done this summer? The last few summers, we've had pretty major construction projects doing various renovations.
Right.
We really don't have anything on the table this summer. We're fixing some doors, fixing a couple minor things. So we're going to sit down with our maintenance staff and our custodial staff and say, what can we get done this summer that we just haven't been able to do because of everything else that's been going on?
Sure.
So we're going to be doing the thorough cleaning that we always do. But I think we're going to be looking at some painting. We're going to be looking at just going through and doing some maintenance that we can get to now that we haven't been able to do. So we're looking forward to that, getting some things done to kind of dress up the campus.
Yeah. We were talking in the break that wind farm money going to start coming in this summer and those sorts of things. And, when school districts get those, just the conversations I've had with the ones that do receive those dollars, the conversation becomes tax abatement, then facilities and all of that. Remind us kind of what your plan is with those dollars, Dr. Tresnak.
So we should start seeing those this summer. They're programmed into our levy. The levy that we did that people will soon be seeing, we were able to reduce the rates a little bit because of the wind farm money coming in, but at the same time able to capture that money.
Okay.
We have been deficit spending for the last couple of years. We've had healthy reserves. So we've been spending down those reserves a little bit, mostly on some projects, trying to get some things renovated, new furniture, doing some things that needed to be done. And I think where I'm at now is I want to do a real close look at the budget going forward and try to balance things out so that we are using that wind farm money well, but also trying to protect the taxpayer so that in future years, as we put that levy out, we try to do the best we can on those rates, maybe even try to lower them a little bit as we see more value coming from the wind farms.
Okay.
So that, and actually I'm in that process now. We're already starting to look at the budget for next year.
Okay.
I'm an old math teacher, so I'm a little bit anal retentive. And so I'm always kind of thinking, I don't like waiting to the last minute on the budget. So I'm already thinking about, what are some tweaks that we need to do within the budget? Where do we need to add money? Where can we reduce some money? And how can we balance some things out?
Gotcha. A lot on the plate. With not having a major project coming up this summer, just that pavilion install you were talking about there, what does that kind of relax your summer a little bit then? Or, what's your plan for the summer, if you don't mind me asking?
it relaxes it a little bit. I think we've already talked administratively. I want to try to find a day where the three of us, the three administrators, we're going to try to get somewhere off campus and sit down and really talk through some processes, some procedures, some policy, and see what we need to clean up.
Okay.
We haven't really had an opportunity to do that, and I think this.
What do you mean by that? Like what comes to mind when you think of those things?
Looking at our student handbooks and what we have in the student handbooks, is it saying what we want it to say? Are there some, for instance, the state's pushing the new no cell phones. Okay, what does that mean for us? How do we have to write that up? How do we do that? What are our procedures for field trips? What are our procedures for different budget things?
Okay,
so trying to have that time to just kind of let's talk through what works best and how do we organize this.
Sure.
And the summertime is the perfect time to do that because you can focus on specific topics and usually not get distracted off of them.
Right. Sure. Very good. Very good. Well, on that note, Dr. Tresnak, I got about 30 seconds with you. Anything specific coming up on the calendar you want to put out there for us?
Just keep an eye on our Facebook feed or on our website at dwschools.org. And we'll have things on the calendar there. We have graduation coming up. 8th grade promotion will be coming up in May. Different things like that. Our kids are playing baseball, softball up with Blue Ridge. Our track program is going, so they'll be in various things. So just keep an eye on it. We're busy.
Very good. Dr. Michael Tresnak, Superintendent of DeLand-Weldon Schools, my guest in studio here this morning. The morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Network news comes your way now on the WHOW Morning Show.
WHOW.